There are accusations that the neighboring countries are also playing a part in terms of bringing instability in Burundi. Do you have any information?
Yeah, we think there were some not very helpful signals and engagements from multiple neighbors on both sides at a point that there could have been voices for peace. We have specifically discussed some of the accusations against Rwanda, including in my testimony to our Senate last week. But I think there's also agreement across the region that first and foremost, this is a Burundian crisis, even if some countries have not been entirely constructive in how they've engaged. And the solutions also are primarily going to be among the Burundian people with support from their brothers and sisters around the region. And that's why the EAC dialogue is so important. I think even among some of President Nkurunziza's closest allies, there's a recognition of why the opposition would not feel safe being in Bujumbura right now, given the systematic crackdown against anyone who has disagreed with President Nkurunziza. And I think that's why the talks, there was agreement among the EAC that this needed to be regionally backed and needed to be outside of Burundi. But it is Burundian stakeholders, first and foremost, that I think need to find a path forward.
Here you are in South Africa currently. Are you meeting any officials to discuss this? And from here, where to? Are you still going to meet or are you still going to go to other countries in the region and maybe finally in Burundi?
Yes. So we have had the benefit of meeting with government officials here, and I always learn a great deal when I have the opportunity to sit down with the South African leadership that has so much wisdom and history, particularly in the Great Lakes region. I will be continuing on to Burundi as well as to DR Congo and then to the EAC summit in Tanzania. I think everybody understands that the situation in Kinshasa is in some ways very similar to where Burundi was a year ago, but almost Burundi on steroids in terms of the sheer scale of what's at stake there. The good news is in Congo, it's not too late for this to be a really happy story. This would be the first peaceful democratic transition in the history of the Democratic Republic of Congo, of peoples who've suffered perhaps worse than any other on the planet over the last 150 years, but have done so much to have a brighter future. And I think that's the hope here, is that this can actually be a really promising chapter for DRC. So I'll be going back through the region there.